Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is going to be my first review of Boruto Naruto Generations by Masashi Kishimoto and Mirio Ikemeto. Now, I know some people really aren't that into Boruto, they find it to be inferior to Naruto, and I can somewhat agree. I definitely agree that the Boruto anime, which is canon to the Naruto manga, is definitely inferior to the Naruto manga. I mean, Studio Period just does Studio Period things. They extend things with filler, they make things just lack the stakes that they usually do. They botch animations, they botch character arcs, it's just all over the place. However, the Boruto manga, in my opinion, is much better. I think the Boruto manga is more grounded, it's more straightforward, and we really get to see top quality fights, character interactions, and character development that we really don't get to see as much in the anime. The anime does have flashes of greatness, such as when Naruto and Sasuke teamed up to fight Momoshiki. That entire episode was beautiful. It was everything that we could have asked for, but that comes few and far between. Meanwhile, the manga, while maybe not always being as flashy as the peaks of the anime, stays very consistent in the quality that it has. And so, I personally really do like this manga. I think it's a worthy successor to the original Naruto. I don't necessarily think it's better, but I do think it's a worthy successor and definitely deserves some more respect, as I feel that when people criticize Boruto, they mainly criticize the anime and they don't really know much about the manga. And in my opinion, I think the manga is just really good. Anyways, with that out of the way, we're going to start with the chapter that released today, chapter 48 of Boruto, called Time Limit. So the chapter begins with the continuation of the fight between Kashin Koji and Ishiki. Right now, Ishiki has fully revived in the body of Jigen, and right now, Kashin Koji is just trying to fight as best as he can to take down Ishiki. Because to his knowledge, the plan with Amato is for Kashin Koji to take down Ishiki. Despite the fact that everyone knows that that's not the case, Kashin Koji is the fall guy. Kashin Koji is supposed to die here. All that this setup is just to get Ishiki out of Jigen's body, so then Naruto and Sasuke can then deal the killing blow. But Kashin Koji doesn't know that, so he's fighting to the bitter end. And the jutsus that we see him use are very stereotypical Jiraiya moves. Jiraiya was obviously a master of fire style, and Kashin Koji, being a clone of Jiraiya, is no different, using numerous fire style jutsus to try and blind and burn Kashin Koji. Not Kashin Koji, blind Ishiki, but Ishiki just uses his shrinking jutsu, and it's on a whole nother level than when he was with Jigen. If he is able to see the jutsu, he is able to shrink the jutsu. And he does this masterfully. Even when Kashin Koji tries to wrap Ishiki around with his hair, it does nothing because Ishiki can just shrink. And he does this in a really cool way. There's a panel of where Kashin Koji slams Ishiki into the ground and he thinks he gets him, and you just see a miniature Ishiki sitting on top of Kashin Koji's shoulder, right next to his ear, and just says, "It doesn't matter what you try, I'll always win." Which I think was just really well done by Ikemeto. I thought it was really cool just having Ishiki just show that, yeah, you'll never defeat me, ever. And just having the panel of him sitting on his shoulder, almost like the devil on a character's shoulder that you see in cartoons, was really good. But anyways, Kashin Koji's not giving up, and he uses many of the hair-based jutsus that Jiraiya used to try and skewer the miniature Ishiki, but it doesn't necessarily work. Meanwhile, Ishiki realizes that while he has incredible power in this form, he knows that Jigen's body will not hold up, and it's only a matter of 2 or 3 days before this body breaks down and he dies. And now that the karma seal that was on Kawaki has been eliminated, that means that if this body goes down, Ishiki dies permanently, as Jigen was the last host before Kawaki that Ishiki had, and with the karma seal gone off Kawaki, this is Ishiki's last hope. While Kashin Koji thinks that, yeah, obviously that's the point, but it doesn't matter, you're still gonna die here, Ishiki's like, you still don't get it. You think that you're the one that's gonna beat me? You're the fall guy here. Everyone knows you're the fall guy. You're not powerful. You were never on my level. You're just here to be one part in a massive step plan. You were never meant to win. Your life is forfeit. And to an extent, it's true. Amato really did create Kashin Koji to be the ultimate fall guy. Kashin Koji's entire point of becoming an inner Kara was solely to become the one that would expose Ishiki so he would be able to come out and his body would be too overwhelmed by the power and then die in battle. And then the plan is to have Naruto and Sasuke either take out Ishiki or outlast him long enough for his body to fully break down and Ishiki to die permanently. But Kashin Koji doesn't believe this because, well, he's a clone. He has his own autonomy. He has his own thoughts, feelings, desires. He's a clone of Jiraiya in body, but in spirit and mind, he's his own person. And he genuinely thinks that he's supposed to be the hero of this story. He will take down Ishiki and take down Karl once and for all. But no, that's not the case. It's not true. It's just not true. He's just a tool. At the end of the day, even if he is a person, he's a shinobi tool, and he's being used as such. And while Kashin Koji tries to believe that, no, this is all a lie, you're just trying to get into my head, you can kind of see as the chapter progresses that deep down, Kashin Koji may actually believe that it's true. That he's nothing but a tool made by Amato just to get at Ishiki. But before we get with that, the fight continues, and we see that Kashin Koji knows how to use Sage Mode, which begs the question, what the hell is he made out of? How in the ever-loving hell was Amato able to create a clone from Jiraiya that was able to use Sage Mode perfectly? Not even the real Jiraiya could use perfect Sage Mode. But this clone somehow is able to use natural chakra, which is incredibly weird. What is Kashin Koji, honestly? Like, he can use Sage Mode, he can use regular jutsus, but he can also use ninja tools and all sorts of different things, like the scientific ninja tools. Like, how advanced of a creature is he? Like, this is actually ridiculous. He's ridiculously powerful. And unfortunately, I do kind of feel that we probably won't get an explanation for this for a very long time. And so we're just gonna have to left scratching our heads how the hell that Kashin Koji can use Sage Mode. But I digress. Anyways, we flash over to Konoha, where Amato is going over the terms of his asylum with Shikamaru, Naruto, and Sasuke. And he's basically given everything he wants. He's been given all common civilian rights, except only within the bounds of the village. If he leaves the village, he's on his own. He gets fucked. If he leaves the village, he'll be hunted by the Konoha ninja, and they will most likely kill him. So there's that, but he's fine with that. Also, he's allowed to use all of the research facilities that Konoha has to offer, but he has to be under the direct supervision of everyone in the science division. And he has to hand over all technology that he has previously created and will create to the Konoha science division. Meaning everything that he will be doing from now on will be in service to Konoha without any exception. Which I think is a fair trade. You get an international super terrorist to work for you, and basically everything that they do will benefit for you. It has very much parallels to the real-life Operation Paperclip, where Nazi scientists were given asylum in America, and the exchange was that they work for the United States government, and any and everything that they do is to be the benefit of the government. So I thought it was really good, and it really goes to show that the Naruto world is evolving. The negotiations that of the 5 Kage of old are gone, and we're now entering a new modernized form of negotiating with terrorists and enemies, and the political structures are changing. Anyways, after giving everything that he's wanted, Shikamaru obviously wants the bomb that's strapped around Shikadai's neck to be disarmed, but Amato basically just says, oh yeah, that's not a bomb. I made that up. I only had one bomb, and I used it on a twig. But that was only to convince you to think I had more bombs, so you'd believe me. Which, in my opinion, is really smart, to be perfectly honest. It shows that Amato, right now, is probably one of the smartest characters we have in Boruto, because he's just bluffing his way through life, basically. He creates these magnificent inventions, but he knows none of them can actually stand up to the people he's challenging, so he just bluffs his way into getting what he wants. He gets Kashin Koji, he creates him, makes him an inner of Kara, and then convinces Kashin Koji, oh yeah, you're gonna be the hero of the story, knowing damn well Kashin Koji's not gonna win. And then we see it here again, where he has two necklaces that are bombs. He straps the fake one on Shikadai, and he has the real one explode a branch in the distance to convince people that he has multiple bombs when he only has one. And if anyone wants to call his bluff, then he would be fucked. But that's not the case here, and it really shows that Amato is a genius. He's probably one of the best tacticians, best strategists, best gamblers, best everything when it comes to being an intellectual. Amato seems to be the best one in the series so far, and I'm here for it, honestly. I'm going to be very interested to see how he's going to finesse Konoha in the future, because we know he's going to try and finesse them. This man was a terrorist for years. You think he's just going to up and give up everything for Konoha all willy-nilly? Nah. This man definitely has his own plans, his own schemes. He was able to create a creature like Kashin Koji that's a clone of Jiraiya that can use perfected Sage Mode. This man is a genius, and there's no way he's just going to give it all up for Konoha. This man is definitely going to start finessing behind the scenes, and I'm honestly excited to see what he's going to be doing. Moving on, the biggest thing that they now start to discuss is that Ishiki is most likely going to make his way for Konoha. Everyone in the room knows Kashin Koji lacks the power to take on Ishiki, so it's only a matter of time before he's defeated, and Ishiki starts making his way to Konoha to obtain Kawaki. Kawaki he needs. If Ishiki gets his hands on Kawaki, he's able to reinstate the Karma Seal, and then use Kawaki's body in less than a week to basically reincarnate inside of Kawaki, and thus giving himself a new, more powerful body that could potentially handle all of his power. Naruto decides, oh, what if we head there now, we'll gain the upper hand. To which Amato says that wouldn't work right now, because all that it would take is for Naruto and Sasuke to be out of Konoha, and Ishiki can teleport right into Konoha and easily take Kawaki and kill everyone in the village. Meaning, the plan has to be that the village is evacuated, Kawaki is sent somewhere else to hide, and Naruto and Sasuke be at him at all times to confront Ishiki. Hopefully, Ishiki can't find Kawaki and he'll die, or if he does find Kawaki, Naruto and Sasuke's combined efforts will be able to hold him off. That's the plan, at least, and it's a really sound plan in my opinion. It makes a lot of sense, and it makes sense that Amato had planned for this, because this man is just the biggest schemer in all of Naruto. He's able to figure out basically everything. He knows exactly what's going to happen, and he knows that for all the power Naruto and Sasuke possess together, it doesn't matter if Ishiki is able to get to Kawaki. And so, it's really interesting, and we see that Shikadai asks Sai to start evacuating the civilians. So, it really does look like Konoha may become the battleground for the foreseeable future. And, yeah, we also see towards the end of the chapter that Kashin Koji is fighting Ishiki more, and he's just trying his damnedest to win. His Sage Mode is doing better than his base form, but it still doesn't do much. His fire style attacks only serve to be nuisances to Ishiki, and it just doesn't seem to do anything. And at the last minute, just as Kashin Koji thinks that he has the upper hand, Ishiki whips out one of his best techniques yet. He is able to shrink objects and then place them in a pocket dimension where time does not flow, and he's able to then summon them whenever he wants. And he does this by summoning pillars on top of Kashin Koji as he tries to use a massive Rasengan. And the summoned pillars proceed to crush Kashin Koji's arms and legs. The jutsu is called the Dai Kokuten, and in my opinion, it's probably Kamui on steroids. Like, Kamui already was really good, but this is just next level, because we don't know what the hell Ishiki has in this pocket dimension. We see that he pulled out the pillars, but he also goes so far as to just flex on Kashin Koji by summoning this really badass looking jacket, as well as a glass of wine that he drinks and then smashes right in front of Kashin Koji, just to prove that you never had a chance. Your skills are formidable, but the moment you challenged me, you were good as dead. And then he thinks, why did you even keep fighting? You knew as this fight progressed that you had no chance. So what was it? Was it your shinobi pride? Did you not want to acknowledge that Amato betrayed you? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter, because you're gonna die here, so just tell me your last words and I'll pass it on to the rest before I slaughter them too. But Kashin Koji is not done yet. He knows that he's not ready to die, and despite all odds, he pulls off the summoning jutsu and summons a giant toad to swallow him and disappear from the battlefield, allowing Kashin Koji to live another day. And this is now really interesting, because now Kashin Koji has lived past the point where everyone expected him to. And what is he going to do from here? Obviously, he can't take on Ishiki, but now he has a bone to pick with Amato, who basically manufactured his entire life to go die. And so here we are, and Kashin Koji's now a free man. Obviously, he's not going to try and work inside of Hara, but is he going to try to go to Konoha? I mean, he could infiltrate Konoha whenever he can because he has Jiraiya's chakra, meaning he won't send off the Yamanaka sensors. But what does he really gain from going to Konoha, really? He doesn't really gain anything. He's not necessarily connected to Naruto or Sasuke or anyone in the village outside of being a Jiraiya clone. In my opinion, I think Kashin Koji is going to start traveling the world a la Jiraiya, except he's going to go on a more twisted version of this tale, where he's basically going to have his worldview constantly being shown that humans are just there to manipulate and use each other, and that in the end he may resolve to take them down a la other Naruto villains that have seen similar. Except this time, Kashin Koji is even more justified because his entire birth was meant for one thing: being used to take down someone else, with no regard for the free will that Kashin Koji has as a person. But anyways, that's my speculation. We finally see that Ishiki is coming for Kawaki, and he teleports right in front of Konoha. But right before he gets there, we see a conversation between Boruto, Naruto, and Sasuke. Boruto wants to fight alongside everyone to protect Kawaki, but Naruto absolutely stops him. He says, "You're not coming into this fight. It was one thing when you fought us, when you helped us against Momoshiki, but Ishiki is on a completely different level. Only Sasuke and I will take him on." And while Boruto wonders, how are you even gonna win? You two lost against base Jigen, and this time it's Ishiki. How are you even gonna beat him? To which Sasuke says, "Naruto and I are willing to die for Konoha, and we've always been prepared to do so. Are you able to do the same?" To which Boruto hesitates, effectively confirming Sasuke's suspicions that Boruto's not ready to make that sacrifice. And I do have to say that this proclamation from Sasuke is very, very important for his character, because as we know, he spent a good portion of Naruto and Naruto Shippuden hating Konoha. He hated Konoha for what they represented and what they did to him personally, and forcing Itachi to murder the Uchiha clan, allowing Itachi to then basically psychologically torture him as a child numerous times, to betraying him, to allowing Danzo to be the powerful figurehead within the village for as long as he did. Sasuke hated Konoha, and at multiple points in the series really wanted to see the destruction of the village. So for an adult Sasuke to be here right now and very coldly say, "I'm willing to die for this village at any moment, and I'm prepared to do so," really shows that Sasuke has truly grown. Not just as a character, he's truly grown to the point where he sees the village as his home. He sees the village as a place worth saving, and even if that means giving up his life, he's willing to make that sacrifice, which I think is really well done. And I'm glad that Kishimoto and Ikemeto did not backtrack on Sasuke's character development and his love for the village, and have since expanded upon it. But anyways, the chapter ends with Ishiki appearing on top of Konoha. He floats above as the citizens below don't even notice him, but we do know that the rest of them know. The Yamanaka sensors immediately pick up his presence, and they know that it's him. His chakra data is unavailable, and there's only one person coming to Konoha that fast with unavailable chakra, and it's Ishiki. And that right there is the end of the chapter. Next month, we're going to see what happens. Next month, we're going to see how Sasuke and Naruto confront Ishiki. Overall, this chapter was really well done. I really liked it. The fight scenes were really incredible, and it was really cool seeing Kashin Koji pull out all of his bag of tricks, even though we know it was futile. But it's still really interesting to see. It does bring up a lot of questions, such as how is Kashin Koji able to learn Sage Mode? Like, what is Amato really gonna be doing after this whole Ishiki situation is handled? What is Kashin Koji's future now that he's escaped Kara? And just a whole bunch of other things. But overall, this chapter was really solid. I really like the art because Ikemeto's art has been constantly evolving. The beginning of the manga, his art was very rough, it was kind of ugly in my opinion, but as the manga's gone on, he's obviously gotten better and better, and this is no different. The chapter here is improved upon the last one, and it's really good. Overall, I would say that this chapter is a solid 8 out of 10. Very good chapter, and I can't wait to review more Boruto chapters. If you like what you see here, please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Boruto manga goodness. Next chapter comes out August 20th, so I'll see you guys in a month. This is Shiny Pokemon Incorporated, signing out.